we don't touch it. A bit like China doll right now. Here's the finished look, guys. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new around here. Hi, I'm Steph, your new BFF, which means you're beauty, fashion and fitness girly here on the internet. Now first of all, Merry Christmas. This is obviously part of my 12 Days of Stefmas series. It's 12 videos for 12 days. It's supposed to be up until Christmas Eve. However, life has happened and we're gonna be doing this all the way up until New Year. Spreading the Christmas cheer for the rest of the year. Why do I keep rhyming? Not that anybody asked, but I know there'll be a fair few of you who will have gotten the Dyson Airwrap for Christmas and you're probably wondering what you're gonna do with it. So if you're one of those people, whether you've got it for Christmas, you currently have it and you don't really know what to do with it, or you currently have it and you've stopped using it because you think it doesn't work, this one's for you. Now I did already post a wash day routine that went over all of the products that I use. So if you're interested in that and you want to see how I maintain my colour and the texture, the health of my hair whilst keeping it bleached and blow drying it and styling it, then go and watch that video. But if you're here to learn about the Dyson Airwrap and all the great tips and tricks that I have, the technique that I use to get a bouncy blowout that lasts for days, this one's for you. If that's your vibe, you should probably subscribe because I'm here for you every single week, giving you the beauty, fashion and fitness lowdown. Right, let's get down to business. First of all, you're gonna need to wash your hair. First things first, I'm going to take off my ring because I don't want to get product all over it. The first thing I will use after I've washed my hair is K18. I cannot live without this product now. Do I think everybody needs it? No. But if you have damaged hair, you have bleached hair, color treated hair that needs a bit of TLC, this is the way to go. I just put a pump of it in my hand, let it emulsify, and then we just run it through all of the hair. Just make sure we get it all the way in there. And then this I will leave in my hair for around 4 minutes. That's what it recommends. You don't wash this out, and you can then put other products over it, which we'll go over in just a tick. It's been 4 minutes and now we give the hair a light brush. A light brush. This is a really old IQ brush. She's almost an antique. She's from 2016. Yes, that's how long I've had it. I should probably throw it out and buy a new brush, but I'm not gonna. Okay, next product, because we're not done. I go in with the Colour Wow Dream Coat. This is just the standard one. They do one for curly hair, and I think they do like an extra strength one. Maybe that is the one for curly hair. I'm not too sure. I've tried it before and it wasn't for me. It was a bit too much and it made my hair greasy as soon as I blow dried it. So I just go in with the normal one. But this is like a huge bottle that I've had for a while. I'd recommend getting the big one. And then maybe grabbing a travel size one so that you can take it on holiday with you, and then you just top that one up with this. That's what I do anyway. And then final product, this is actually a travel size. It comes in a normal size bottle, but I wanted to give it a go in the travel first. This is the Colour Wow Dream Cocktail Carb Infused Leave-In Thickening Treatment. I've been enjoying this. I'm just not entirely sure whether it's doing what it's meant to do. Like, it's a nice product and my hair feels nice after it, but I don't know whether that is because of the other stuff that I'm using or whether this is like helping my hair. But I'm gonna keep using it anyway because I paid money for it. But I just have naturally thin and fine hair anyway. I'm not sure there's really anything out there bar some nano bonds or tape-ins that would make my hair look thicker, unfortunately. And again, we're gonna comb that through. If you're noticing a pattern now. The next product, controversial, is some water. I'm just spritzing anywhere where it now looks a little bit dry because we don't want the hair to be sopping wet. Like, it doesn't need to be dripping. Just towel dried hair is fine. but we want to make sure that the hair is damp when we're going into this blow dry. Trust. Now let's move on to the blow dry. We've got our products in. I'm just going to separate out my front pieces, fringe, if you can call that a fringe. It's not at this point, let's be honest. So this is what would be my fringe, and I'm just going to separate that out, give it a brush forward, and then clip back the rest of it, because we're just going to be focusing on the front now. Now this, I'm then going to split into two. And the round brush attachment, and all I'm going to do is take the brush, I'm going to focus it on the root, just the root. Obviously it's going to drag the brush through, but my main focus with this is to run the brush to get volume at the root. So I'll kind of do it forward, I'll do each side, and I will do back as well. So I'll show you. So like I said, focusing on the root and just drag it through. Focusing on the root and drag it through. And then again on the side. Nice. And then one more time for good luck. And that is it. We're not going to touch this again now. We're going to move on to the other piece. Now that we're looking sufficiently crazy, I'm going to take both pieces, lock them together, and do the same. And then that last blow, we just pull it back. And then I'm going to part my fringe or my front pieces. And because we've separated them out, they should be okay. I'm just going to give a little spritz of water on these ends just to get them wet again. So now we've got like a little bit of volume right here at the front. If you have like a volumizing texture spray or something like the Color Wow Raise the Root, you can use that. I don't currently have any of it, otherwise I would be using that because it definitely helps boost the hair at the front. But now we're gonna go on to using the Airwrap. I know usually like if you wanted to curl away from your face, people will tend to use it so that the arrows are facing away like this. However, I found with the fringe pieces, the secret to getting it to sit nicely and also curl well is to use the opposite end but have the Dyson pointing downwards, if that makes sense. I'll show you. So I'm going to do this side first. This side is usually the side that likes to cooperate, the other side doesn't. So I'm just taking all of that hair and holding it so that it sits flat against the barrel, and then we turn it on. We wrap the hair around because it's wet, so it's going to have a bit of trouble. And then I just kind of feel around, just move it around, make sure that the hair is all wrapped around and that it feels pretty much dry. Just get that root, and I will tilt the barrel towards my face. So you see how I've got this swoop here? That's what we want. And we leave that for a few seconds, maybe like 10, 15 seconds, whatever you want, depends on the thickness of your hair. And then we cool shot. So the button at the front, I'm just pushing that up, and we're gonna let that cool, which is what's going to set the curl in place. And then when I feel like it's cooled down enough, I can feel the cold air or cool air blowing on my face, we stop, we turn it off, and we slide the curl off, and we don't touch it. Again, like I said, you want to make sure the hair's wet. We blow dried this so that we have volume in the root, but when we're curling, we want the hair to be wet. That is what's going to help set the curl in place, yeah? Okay, off, slide out the barrel, and there we go. Yes, I'm looking Victorian. It's giving George Washington, but that's what we want, okay? Just stick with me. I promise you, this is fine. I'm just gonna split down the center. I mean, however you choose to do your parting is up to you. I prefer a center part, so that is what I'm going to do. And the good thing with this is, because it is like a curly blowout, if you do a center part and then you decide, nah, I want to do a side part, it can still work, and it actually looks really cool. It gives that whole sort of 90s supermodel bombshell vibe to your hair, which is very nice, especially this time of year. Then, to help with the blow drying process, I'm going to split these into half. So we want 4 quadrants of our hair. I mean, technically this is like 6 sections, not quadrants, that'd be 4 sections, because we've got the fringe pieces, the bangs, whatever you want to call them, at the front. But the main like bulk of your hair, you want to split into 4 sections. And I tend to do it where I just reach with my finger and go from the top of my head down towards the back of my ear. And if I get like too much hair here, where that would probably sit more comfortably there, I'll split that out. Then this bit gets another comb just to smooth it out. And we twist that up and clippy. I'm just going to do that with the rest of it. There we go, we're looking cute. This section I've literally just clipped off that whole half, because we're just going to be working with this section right here for now. And notice how my hair, she's still pretty wet. Yeah, she's looking like a drowned rat. But now all I'm doing is taking my finger from the top of my ear and trying to run it in pretty much a straight line. And I kind of feel for that first sort of like ridge in the back of my skull. And that is where I'm going to make my first section. Now this section, I'm just going to split in half, because that is a good amount of hair to have in the barrel. Now let's see which side have we got it on. We got it on the right side. So now I'm going to take this with the arrows pointing away from my face, and we're just going to do the same thing. But the first thing I do is run the barrel down the hair first, and then I flip the ends over. I feel like it just helps dry the hair a little bit, and then it helps it stick by just wrapping the end around. So let's go. So running the barrel down the hair slowly, and then wrap the ends. And here we're just going to work in sections, as if you're like blow drying the ends first. So we just want to keep running the barrel up and down the hair, just making sure that it's drying. Now this is going to take some time, because you're going to work in small sections with the hair, because you want to make sure you're drying it while it's wet to help set the curl in place. So just take your time with it. There's no rush. This is a process, and we have to trust the process. Then when you get to the top, I just usually shake it a little bit. Again, just have a feel with my fingers to see if it is actually dry, because then once it is dry, I'll just smooth everything out, and then we cool shot. Again, we're just going to wait until the barrel cools down, we start to feel the cold air, and you're confident that the curl is like completely set. If you really want to give it some oomph, then you can work your way down the heat settings as well with the barrel like on. I've done it both ways, and to be honest, for me it doesn't really make that much of a difference. It's just important that the hair is dry before you then go in with the cool shot, because otherwise the hair's still going to come out damp, which is not what you want, because if it's damp it is going to drop. Turn it off, slide the barrel out. Another thing again that you can do here is pin curl these bits. So as you're sliding the barrel off, pin that and then just leave that against your head. But the way I get my curly blowout to last a few days and also drop out naturally, so it looks like a really loose waves and the front pieces are still like face framing, is just by doing this. I will just let it do its thing. Just sit here. We're just gonna repeat. You've seen the pattern now, yeah? And there we go. Boop, boop. We've got some bouncy curls going on. Looking a bit like a China doll right now, but it's fine. I'm gonna go and do the back section on this side, and I'll be back with you for the rest of it. Side note, if you have the barrel attachments that I have, you will need to switch them out. If you have the one barrel that you like switch the top on, I hate you, but just switch it the other way, because again, you want the curls going away from the face, the arrow pointing this way to the wall. Okay, we've got, I'd say maybe 2/3 of the head done. Okay, this one we're just going to split in sections going up the same way we did here. So I'm just going to take this section just above the ear, clip the rest of that out the way, and off we go. Now this, when I'm doing it, I want to try and run the barrel so that it sits underneath the hair, like so, because that's how we get a little bit of volume in the root. So I'm going to run down, let the hair wrap round, back and forth, and just slowly work up the hair with the barrel. And then once it's dry, give it a blast with the cool shot. Pull the barrel out, and then again just give it a little bit of a shake just to help tease that shape in, and voila, there we go. So one down, and we've got about 3 or 4 more sections to go. This one I'm going to go a little bit higher up, let it drop again, and then another section. And then for this very last section at the top, I am going to split this into 2 down the middle, and these ones we're going to curl back the same way we did the underneath bit. And then the last section, and then we leave it like that. I'm just going to go do this last bit and I'll be right back with you. And here's the finished look, guys. Jokes, this is how I'm going to go to bed. Now, if I were to be going out, I would brush this out. I would get like a wide tooth comb like this. You don't want something too compact, like a Tangle teaser or something. And I would just go through. If I really wanted to kind of break the curls up, but without disrupting them too much, like without brushing them out too much, I would brush it out in sections. So I would lift like a top section, lightly brush out the bottom, then the next section and the top, and just kind of zhuzh the front pieces to how I want. But the way that I found this works best for me is when I just go to sleep on it. So I'll do my normal wash day routine and blow dry it like this, and then I will go to bed. And then in the morning kind of assess the situation. Most times I wake up and it's absolutely fine. It just like looks like loose curls, and I just kind of like run my fingers through a little bit. I may brush through it slightly just to get some knots out if I've had a particularly restless sleep. But for the most part, it tends to be okay. If I do find that there are pieces that have kind of like gone too loose, I will either go back in with the Dyson or I'll go in with a curling one and just kind of quickly go over those pieces just to kind of neaten them up and make it look like the curly blow dry again. But for now, I'm just gonna leave it like this, and I'm gonna send you over to future Steph, who looks, I'd imagine, a hell of a lot more glam than I do right now. And just for reference, this is what my hair looks like the next morning. So not too shabby. I haven't gone through it with a comb or anything like that. We've got a couple of pieces underneath that are a little bit straight, and I need to go over this fringe piece again because it looks like it's been trapped like under my ear all night. But for the most part, it's looking pretty good. Like the top section's pretty much intact. It's just a couple of bits underneath and then my fringe bit here. So you can see it really doesn't take that much work to keep it maintained, even if you do sleep on it. So what I'm going to do now is go over these pieces that need recurling a little bit, and voila, we're done. And there you have it. As you can tell, I do sometimes have to finesse it a little bit. These pieces at the front do love to get on my nerves, but we fix it, it's fine. Now this style will now do me for a few days if I wanted it to. I generally like to wash my hair every 2 days, 3 days max, just because my scalp is very greasy, and at the minute I have a lot of my natural root coming through, so it gets greasy even quicker. I just have an oily scalp, which is why I bleach my hair within an inch of its life. I'm having a bit of a crisis with my colour at the moment. I don't mind this like part that's grown out. I kind of want to get my fringe topped up, but I'm at that point now where I'm kind of thinking, do I want to keep the blonde now? Or do I want to go more of like a natural colour? Maybe not so much my own natural colour. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm feeling like I maybe want to try more brown. I've done this before though, and I immediately went back on it the next time I went to the salon because it was just too much brown. Like whenever I put my hair up, all I could see was like brown on my skull, and I didn't really like it that much. But I'm at that point now where it's just costing a lot to maintain it, and I'd kind of like to get my thicker hair back because I obviously have a lot of breakage going on. You can see how like thin the ends are. I probably need like a good chunk taking off. She's probably due a cut, and maybe that will fix my woes. I think if I got a good few inches like chopped off, maybe I'd feel better about it because then the ends would feel a bit thicker. I'm at that point where I just don't really know what to do with it. So if you've got any suggestions other than telling me to shave my hair off, not doing that, then let me know. But yeah, this is my entire Dyson routine that I use, and I've been using it for a while, and it's barely ever steered me wrong. Like I said, there is the odd occasion where it just kind of falls out, and that's usually when I've been really warm in bed and my head has just been really hot. It's kind of then flattened the style. But if I get a good night's sleep, I'm usually good to go for a few days. Like the vlog that I did when I went to Newcastle recently, that was like 2, 3 and 4 day Dyson blowout hair, and it lasted really well. Some of these Stefmas vlogs I've showed you, like it's a day 2, day 3 sometimes blowout, and it lasts really, really well. But that is pretty much it from me for now on this. I'm gonna get off my Dyson soapbox and I'm gonna go out and have some drinks because technically for me today it's Christmas Eve and I desperately need a drink after the year I've had. But if this wasn't enough for you and you have more questions, you want to make some requests, suggestions, that kind of thing, leave on that in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe to make sure you don't miss out on any of my videos. Like this video because it lets the algorithm know that it isn't just me who watches these videos. And if you can't get enough of me, there's plenty more content on my channel for you to binge. So anyway, as usual, I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I've enjoyed filming it, and that you found it educational, inspirational and entertaining, because that is kind of the point around here. But on that note, I'm going to love you, leave you, and see you in the next one. Bye!